Good morning. Okay, so my microphone is probably way louder than it was last night, right? That's also because it was like 2 in the morning. No, it was 1 in the morning, and I needed to be quiet. Um, so, yeah. Um, hmm, that might actually be smart. I don't know. Because, I would be able to be a little bit louder if I moved my desk away from my wall, which is next to my brother's room. Um, so I would have to switch the positions of where my bed and my desk are. And that wouldn't be too difficult. Well, it would be difficult, but like, would I care? No. It will be a fun experience, right? But, it'd actually be kind of smart in a way too. Because, hold on. There we go. Because, my PC would be near my AC, like the AC vent. My PC would be pretty much directly in front of the AC vent. But the only issue is that it's going to be winter soon, and in the winter we turn on the heater. So then it would cause my PC to overheat, which would mean like for 6 months I would have to. That would mean every 6 months I would have to switch the position of my bed and PC, which I can't do. Or actually no, because the AC vent is near um it is near my window. Don't mind my finger. I cut my finger. Now I get a band-aid. Ow. I just cracked my thumb bone because I thought this was the hand that can do the weird thumb thing. This is the hand that can do it. Look at that. I do have a thumb bone right here, a knuckle, right? I have a knuckle, right? But this one can go inverted. This one cannot. Don't know why, but it's pretty cool. It feels weird too. Like you feel like the bones right here, or like a bone in a vein or something. I don't know what it is. But I'm getting so off topic. I'm getting so off topic. Let's get back on topic. So, good morning, hello, welcome. I'm confused now. Sorry. I don't know. Microphone is unmuted, but no signal. 3 minutes ago. Can you hear me? I feel like you can hear me because I can see the input audio going all the way to the yellow while I speak, which means I am talking way louder than I was last night, which makes sense because it was like 1 in the morning, like I was saying. Okay. I can test the audio real quick if it wants to be like that. If it wants to say that. Oh my goodness, how do I test this? Oh, right here. Okay. So, yeah, I can clearly hear myself. So, it's working. But it does sound poppy. I can hear pops, which is amazing. Let's do something to fix that, right? Let me just turn on the voice mod, right? And then we're going to switch this audio over to the voice mod. Voice mod desktop. Okay. And then we go back to properties and we go down and we test the audio. That's a little that's weird. It shouldn't be popping like okay. I don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, no. I don't know. I Would that work? No. What about that? I don't know what any of this does, but I'm trying to see if it changes anything. I don't know if it is. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's either changing something or I'm talking too quiet. So let's just figure this out, right? I think this might actually be working a little bit. Unless it's just because I'm talking. I don't know. I don't really know. We're just gonna leave it like that. It works, I think, so let's just go with it, right? Okay. So, we're watching videos. We are watching Impact Video Ministry. We love this channel. Absolutely love this channel. Sign in. I was signed in. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna have to turn off this screen real quick and then sign in, I guess. Because the whole thing happened with my Google account where I had to re-sign in. Yes, let's verify with my phone. Sent a notification to my phone. Connect devices. Put in my passcode. Can you guys see that? Whoops. Okay, so I'm signed in now. Okay, you guys could barely even see it. I thought you guys could see it because I was holding my phone like this. But if I was holding my phone like this, you would be able to see it. Look at my back screen. It looks so cool. It's a cross. Look at that. And then, like, when I turn off my phone, it's not a cross, but I feel like it's cool. Like, look at the butterflies. There's butterflies on my phone and butterflies in my stream. And this is like an old-timey type of thing, style. There's an old camera. It just looks amazing. And that's, like, how I would love my room to look one day. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, some sort of inspiration, but I know it will never look like that because I'm too much of a mess. But let me turn on the screen again because we got it working. Okay. So, ooh, I almost pressed end stream. That's not what I wanted to do. Also, it is so much easier to end the live on Streamlabs than it is OBS, because on OBS you have to press end stream and then you have to confirm to end stream. On Streamlabs you just press end stream once, which I can understand if that's annoying to some people, but to me it's so amazing, because that's why in my older videos I'd be like, bye, I don't know how to end this, whatever, like that, because it would take so long for me to end it from when I said bye. I could literally say bye and then end stream right away, not end stream and then have to press anything else. Ooh, yes, and I forgot, I have my healthy cereal. I forget what the brand is called, but this is like a maple waffle cone, waffle syrup, waffle and syrup. I don't know. It said something about maple, waffle, and syrup. So it's supposed to be like those like waffle cereals, but it's a healthy version of it. So it's less sweeter, and it just overall tastes more healthy. Okay, we got our pen. We cannot lose this pen because we had Exactly. There you go, to all the people who want to make a movie that predicts Satan as misunderstood and that apparently, like, like, no hate towards those people. But there's people out there that have mentioned about making a story of the Bible, or I think they already did it in a movie, where Satan is the good guy and that Satan was just trying to overthrow God because apparently God was the evil one. Like, make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Seriously. Like, they really gonna be out here saying that God was the evil one and Satan just wanted to make things better. Like, I feel like that's the lowest point of view you can even have. Like I can understand it in a way because, like, they're non-believers, obviously, or they were in the faith and got church hurt, right? Or it's the people who are pro-abortion or for abortions because, obviously, if they think of God after having an abortion, then they feel so, like, hurt because they feel like they're not worthy of God. But then, obviously, Satan would welcome them with open arms, even though it's the complete opposite. To them, it seems as though Satan would welcome them with open arms, but obviously, it's just all part of his plan. He makes people feel comfortable with that action. And obviously, that's not of God, because wasn't there a Pharaoh, the guy who wanted Moses dead, right? He ordered for all the sons that were born to be eliminated. That's why Moses' mom had to send him down the river in a basket. Like, literally everything bad that happened in the Bible, other than the parts where God was testing people, it was all just Satan trying to stop the coming of Jesus. Because he knew once Jesus came, he's done for. He knew that. So he did everything in his power to try and stop Jesus from existing, which included trying to kill Moses and trying to kill the other people who are all part of their bloodline. Which just seems so fascinating to me when I found that out, because there are sorry, I gotta plug in my phone. And I hope this charger works because it hasn't been working. Yeah, this charger is officially broken, but I'm still trying to use it because I don't have another one that actually charges my phone good like this one does. I have to do the old person thing of messing with the wires because we can't get a new one. Well, I can get a new one, but I don't know. It's just a whole process, and I don't really want to go through the process of getting a new one and all that stuff. Ooh, that's actually perfect. And is it charging? Oh yes, it's charging. Okay, I put it in the perfect position where it's charging and I can see chat, right? So, that is awesome. Do, 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 do. Oh no. Did it just uncharge itself? Oh, I think it did for a second. Okay. But, like I was saying about that situation, there are people that genuinely, I think they made a movie. I think they 100% made a movie. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. So don't take my word for it. If anything, search it up. But I heard that there was a movie being created to depict Satan as the good guy who was misunderstood, as he is saying, and just trying to protect us all from God. So, as an example, that movie was trying to do the whole Peter Pan switch up on God and Satan, where Peter Pan is actually the bad guy and Captain Hook is the good guy trying to protect the kids. That's why he kidnaps them, right? And that Peter Pan's the bad guy because he just scoops children out of their houses and makes them believe a bunch of crazy stuff, right? That's what they're trying to do with God and Satan. They're trying to say that God's the crazy one, making people believe a bunch of crazy stuff that's not real, and making people have hope in things that aren't existing, and that Satan's Captain Hook trying to save them from God, which makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense if you're a believer. If you are a believer, that makes zero sense. If you are a confused believer, then ask as many questions as you need to. No one should say that you're asking too many questions if they're a true believer. But yeah.
Tells us how he schemes or strategizes to harm us. So as we begin our study, I want to emphasize that the biblical Satan is much different than what a lot of people think.
Yes, he
I
is.
would say this: the more you know about him, the better you can take your stand against him in the name and power of Jesus. So with that said, let's explore what the Bible actually tells us about Satan.
We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but first, staying informed these days is harder than it should be. I can't tell you.
Fact number 1, Satan is a fallen angel who rebelled against God. Luke chapter 10, verses 17 to 19. The 72 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you.
That's amazing. I'm writing that down. Unless I already did. I don't know if I already did. I don't know if I seen like the beginning of this video already. I'm gonna say I didn't, and then I'm gonna rewrite it down if I'm gonna write it down. But this is amazing because obviously right here this proves this just proves it if you're a believer, because so it says that the 72 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name, which is what Jesus says later on, in which like goes along with what Jesus said later on in the Bible, where to the Pharisees, right? I don't really know what they're called. The people who tried to say that Jesus was a demon himself, because Jesus was said to them, how can you that why would a demon cast out itself? that if Jesus was really a demon, as they said, why would a demon cast out itself? And that's just such a powerful part of like stuff he said. Like that just like it's like such like it's such a simple thing he said, but it seems so important, right? Oh, and then speaking about that, the guy's videos that we've been watching recently, the guy who used to be into witchcraft and gonna be one of the like high witchcraft priests and stuff like that, but then he found Jesus and well, Jesus revealed himself to him and now he's a pastor. The people who tell him that they've gone to places to get healing or to get like demons removed off of them and stuff like that, I wonder what really took place in that, in them actually going to that, because obviously demons cannot cast out demons. Jesus tells us that. And those psychics and all that stuff are not of God. Even if they say they are of the faith, they are clearly doing something against God because God does not like witchcraft or any of that stuff. And that is a form of witchcraft. God tells us not to speak with the dead, not to and not to mess with witchcraft, sorcery, and all that stuff. And that's what those like psychics and people do. Like I could say like maybe there's like maybe it's for real, right? People do give God, I mean God does give people discernment over things. And God does give people gifts, and there could be genuine people that can see the demons and the spirits and like stuff like that. But they have a blurred they might have a blurred misconception of what it actually is, right? Because the world tells you it's just ghosts or spirits and it could be your loved ones and all that stuff like that. But if you're really in like if you're really a believer, that could be used if it is of God. If it is of God, it would stay even through becoming even like learning more as a believer. If that was from God, then it would stay. But if it wasn't, obviously it would go away. But if it were to stay, you would technically be like one of the more in-tuned believers, right? Because it's kind of like you can see. You've been given the gift to be able to see. So you can share with those around you what really happens, what really goes on. But that's not what people do. Yeah. So I don't know. Like that, like there could be like 100% chance that anything I'm saying is not legit. I'm just saying what my thought process is at this moment, because that could be a possibility. Because, but then it kind of, no, because that has to do with Jesus. Because, you know, I always forget about that verse, right? Does anyone else always forget about that verse? The one that says, where Jesus literally says to, what is it? The apostles? No. Is it apostles? The disciples? The people who are with him. The 12 disciples, right? I don't know. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting it. But, Jesus tells them, blessed are those who believe and yet do not see. And I just realized right now that, like, I'm always upset in a way, because I've never really seen Jesus, right? I've always wanted to see Jesus, but I have seen a spirit before. Like, it wasn't anything whatever. It wasn't anything like I saw like an actual angel with the eyes everywhere and the wings and all that stuff. No. All I saw was a spirit. It was a flash of light. Not even a flash of light. It was a ball of light that was floating outside my window. And that happened maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was watching a scary video. I was watching a YouTuber play a scary game. I didn't know that the scary game was demonic until the very end of watching it. He had to do a whole seance to take a demon out of a girl, and then the demon went into him. And that had my heart racing. That had me terrified, because obviously I'm watching this on my phone. And a part of me genuinely believed that by me watching this, the demon like hopped out of my phone and into me in a way. That's not what I believed, but it was like, it still had me not okay. I didn't believe that the demon literally jumped out of my phone and went into me, but it's like, that's what the game shows. Like, if you're watching it from your phone, if you're watching the gameplay from your phone, the demon jumps at the screen. So it jumps at you, the player. And it just didn't have me feeling okay. And it was to the point where I ended up sending that video to a friend and was like, hey, can you watch this video? Because I would think that they would have more discernment over whether or not that was okay. Because obviously I knew that it wasn't okay. Like, I thought it definitely was not okay. But since I had watched it, I wanted someone else to watch it in order to like confirm or deny whether or not it was okay. And right after I sent it, it was as if my room was getting darker. And then I was going to pick up my phone to see if they messaged me back. And then out of nowhere, there was just a ball of light floating outside my window. A ball of light floating outside my window. And my window is 15 feet off the ground. My window is 15 feet off the ground, and the street light is higher up than my window. I saw the ball of light. It was literally the size of a basketball. A basketball sized ball of light was floating outside my window. I could see the sphere floating outside my window. And not only that, but the light that came from it filled my whole room almost until everything was completely white. So I may not have ever seen Jesus, but I saw something. And I know that it was something that was good. Because after seeing that, I felt so much peace. That video no longer bothered me. And it's like, I've watched and done so many horrible things, but from a video like that, apparently that was so bad that a spirit literally came down and flashed my room with white light as if like cleansing it in a way, right? That's what it would seem like, because like why else would it flash my room with white light while it's outside my window? It was really weird because it was completely dark outside. It was like 2 in the morning. It was like 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I don't know, but I was watching a scary video of demonic stuff, right? And I didn't know that it was a demonic scary gameplay until the very end. I thought it was just like we're just walking through the woods and trying to get away from a serial killer or something like that, which that's still bad. But I kind of thought it was like another granny type of video in a way. But then at the end, obviously, I realized that no, he has to do a whole seance to get a demon out of someone, and then the demon goes into him. So, yeah, that was definitely not just another like funny getting away from someone video. But yeah, no, that genuinely happened to me. Like, you could put me on a lie detector. Like, you put me on a lie detector, I will put $100 on the table. I am being so serious. That happened to me, and I saw that, and I felt the peace afterwards of seeing that, or of that being, or being in the same presence as that. And it was just incredible. And I did kind of mess up though, because I ended up trying to grab my phone to take a picture of it. And right when I grabbed my phone, poof, everything gone. And it was only once I grabbed my phone that everything disappeared. It was staying outside my window. It stood outside. Like, time felt like it slowed down so much. Time felt like it was going in slow motion. And to me, it felt like 5 minutes had passed of me just staring at the ball of light and looking around my room because it was lit up. And I don't have a light in my room. I've chose to just have the natural sunlight during the day and then leave my room dark at night. So it was literally, there was nothing in my room that could have made my room light up like that. And I've lived here long enough that I've seen cars pass by with their headlights on, and it's never shined that brightly into my room. Even now, I can see cars passing by and the sun bouncing off of them. It's nothing like what I experienced. Nothing at all. And that was just genuinely something incredible. And I feel horrible for that because how can I be over here hoping, wishing, begging God to show himself to me, yet I've already seen something half the people in this world would never experience? But that's not good enough for me? What is wrong with me? Like, how was seeing what could have been like the Holy Spirit or something like that, or any type of spirit or angel or something. How can that not be enough? I seen that, I felt its presence, yet I still long to see Jesus himself. Even though Jesus literally says in the Bible, blessed are those who believe and not and don't see. Right? I'm almost done with this. I forgot that I was supposed to be writing while I was talking. I can't multitask. I don't know why my throat just did that. That was really weird. My throat just made like a squeak noise. I don't know if you guys heard that. It was like, I don't usually eat this early in the morning. Well, it was like 10:40 when I woke up, right? Or 10:30. Okay. I am halfway done. Okay, that's how I know I'm taking too long. After like 3 minutes, my headphones, or like 3 or 5 minutes, I don't know how long exactly, but my headphones end up turning off once there is no audio. Ooh, that's another thing that I've started to realize when reading the Bible. You see that right there. So whenever God is saying something, whenever God or Jesus says something, they always say, "Behold," right? And it seems so important. It seems very important. Like, I don't know if there could have been a different word used instead of behold. Like maybe it was translated into behold, but it meant like something else. I don't know. Because it seemed like they were trying to make it seem like that's super important, but maybe it has a different meaning, like not just behold, like maybe something to do with like pay attention to this, or this is of importance, because behold just sounds so interesting to have in the Bible. The word behold makes me think of a magician, which obviously magicians are bad. Not really. Well, kind of in a way. Like, obviously, magician magic is an actual, like, witchcraft or voodoo type of magic. It's play magic, but it could still lead someone down the path of real magic. And I would feel as though magic is bad no matter what, because you're still deceiving people in normal magic. Like, yes, magic tricks are cool, but I've had people, while I was a child, torment me with the whole, oh, I got your nose thing, or oh, look, my thumb can come apart. And I genuinely was terrified. Like, obviously, I knew the nose thing was fake. Like how's that gonna be real? But like, they wouldn't necessarily do that to me. They'd show me that, oh, they took out their own nose, and then they'd be like, oh, I got your nose now, and I wouldn't believe that. But like the finger thing, that genuinely gave me chills down my whole body when I first saw it done. When I first saw someone do that, that actually gave me full on chills. Like, I was terrified. So, and I was a child as well, just so you know. And I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem right for someone to do something like that to a child who would genuinely believe it. Because I genuinely believed it. Like, I believed so much this stuff when I was a child. Oh my goodness, I wrote this so wrong. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep it like this, and I'll probably rewrite it some other time.
So if you look at the beginning of Luke chapter 10, you'd read that Jesus sent 70 of his followers to teach people about the kingdom of God.
Wow,
And he sent them
70?
2 by 2, and when they came back, they were excited because they saw that demons obeyed them. And I want you to notice in this
Nice.
passage that Jesus speaks about Satan's fall as something he witnessed in response to what his followers were doing. And many scholars will use this passage where Jesus said, I saw Satan fall like lightning, to not only describe what happened when Jesus' followers were preaching, but to also describe the fact that Satan was a figure who fell from heaven in the past when he sinned. Look at 2 Peter
Oh, yeah.
4. For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but cast them into hell and committed them to chains of gloomy darkness to be kept until the judgment.
So, this right here, people tend to say that, hold on, let me do that, right? Okay, so I'll do that. So people tend to say that due to this, like, God literally says that the angels who sinned were casted into hell
In this passage,
and committed them to chains
to be kept until the judgment.
So the Bible mentions 2 places, hell and Hades, but a lot of people believe that that's one separate thing. That's one thing. They just have 2 different names. But some people believe that Hades is where everyone who has died before being saved by Jesus are. That's where everyone thinks that people are waiting for their judgment, because people say, like, why would God send us to hell if hell wasn't created for us? Right? Hell was never created for us. It was created for Satan and the angels who, I guess, don't turn away, right? Turn away from Satan. very weird. I just got a news alert on my phone about some attorney thing. I don't know, but I'm not paying attention to that. I'm trying to talk about God. Okay, so I had just thought about something while I was saying that. So it's pretty interesting how, when Jesus casted out the legion of demons from that one guy and put them into the pigs. So we all know that demons are fallen angels, right? Demons are fallen angels. Demons never existed. Satan created them due to convincing angels that they should follow him, right? Which sounds crazy, but like Satan was an angel himself, so it's like if he's able to think that God's wrong, how is he? It would make sense that he'd be able to convince others that God is wrong. But it doesn't make sense how even though they were in the presence of God, they would think that God was wrong. Like, did they not know? Did they not see when Satan came down to earth and destroyed what God made good? Which is pretty interesting. But like I was saying, this is pretty interesting, this verse, because it makes me remember when Jesus casted out the demons into the pigs, right? Because the demons were saying, do not send us back to hell, right? They would have much rather had been put into the pigs than sent back to hell. They thought that the pigs wouldn't go insane and that they could just live their lives out in the pigs. But the pigs ended up going insane, and yeah, that happened. But if that's not proof right there that the demons are fallen angels, then I don't know what would be. Because if the demons weren't fallen angels and they were just the followers of Satan, then, or if Satan just created them, then why would they want to disobey Satan? Why wouldn't they want to be back into their home? Unless it wasn't their home to begin with. Unless they know that they've done wrong and that they should have never disobeyed God and became the fallen angels. Because obviously, if God created demons, if God genuinely created demons and gave them hell as like their free roaming place, or if demons already existed, then why would they be upset about being in hell if that's their domain, if that's where they live, if that's where they spend time? So just think about that for a second. I'm getting a phone call. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys thought about that for a second. I am back. Uh yeah, I don't know. Does that give you guys something to think about? Because that's pretty interesting to me, right? To realize something like that. Like, obviously demons are fallen angels. If you read the Bible, you know, right? If you read the Bible, there's no denying that demons are fallen angels. Literally, Satan wasn't always Satan. Satan was an angel. And like, he wasn't just any like plain old, well, plain old. Okay, excuse me. He wasn't any regular angel. He was one of like God's like top angels, right? So he had some abilities, right? Or some like influence in heaven in a way. Like he helped God directly, or he was supposed to, right? So, yeah. Let's keep this going.
In this passage, Peter rebukes many false teachers that have risen up in the early church. And then he brings up angels that sinned as an example that if God did not spare them, then why would he spare these false teachers from the destruction that they've caused? And I want you to pay attention to the fact here that angels were capable of sinning, and they did. And when it comes to church history, we also see several church fathers link Satan to the character Lucifer in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 to 15, and the anointed cherub or angel that fell in Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 12 to 17. And even though these passages speak poetically about earthly kings, many scholars see an allegory to Satan behind these very interesting descriptions. For example, in Isaiah, this prideful character Lucifer says things like, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, and I will be like the Most High. And Ezekiel describes an anointed guardian cherub who was formerly beautiful and adorned, but then was cast down because of his pride. So if many angels have sinned and fallen in the past, and Satan is one of them, then note that they are not just a messy group of individuals, rather, they're organized.
Yeah, no, they're completely organized. They all planned all of it. They all.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 24. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, it is only by Beelzebub, the prince of demons, that this man casts out demons.
See, there we go.
In this passage, we see the Pharisees or Jewish religious leaders associating the power Jesus used to do
They're talking about it
with that of Beelzebub, the prince of demons. And this name comes from Beelzebub in Jewish tradition, meaning Lord of the Flies. And it
Lord of the
references
Flies.
God of disease and death in 2 Kings 1, verses 2 to 3. And when the religious leaders said this in this passage, it was a crazy insult. And I'd say it's kind of similar to a person saying today that someone is like Hitler, who was responsible for killing millions of people. And what I want you to see is that these Pharisees, who were the most knowledgeable in Old Testament law and Jewish tradition, saw some kind of hierarchy in the demonic realm because they called Jesus a servant of Beelzebub, the prince of demons. Not only that,
That's
but
crazy.
the Greek word used for prince is also used in other places for human officials, rulers, or leaders. And while the Pharisees were wrong about the source of Jesus' power in this context, since we know it came from God, the criticism shows that they recognized a demonic network that has a structure and a leader. So the structure could look something like this, where you have a prince, other demons, and I guess the Pharisees here would put Jesus here.
Yeah.
Also, another Jewish leader who became a Christian, the Apostle Paul, also speaks about this prince or ruler of demons. Look at Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 to 2. And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience.
I want to write that down. Okay, I'm going to write this down real quick. I do have to go in a few minutes. If I'm back home before 5. No, if I'm back home by 5, I will continue watching these videos because I know I haven't watched these in so long. Not so long, but like it's been a week. And that feels like a long time ago. To me, at least. I don't know if any of you also think it's been a long time or prefer me not watching these videos because it takes forever, right? But I very much enjoy these videos. But if you don't, then just skip over them and watch the ones that you actually enjoy, right? Or you could just sit through them and skip over these parts where I'm just writing things down. Oh, hold on, getting another phone call. Okay, so actually, I don't have to go. I kind of should have expected this, but yeah, change of plans. I don't have to go anywhere. So, yeah. Did I mess this up? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so I do not have to go anywhere, so that is awesome. Because I can continue this video until I actually finish it. I'm getting another phone call. Give me 1 second.
this passage, before Paul explains the good news of the gospel, he talks about the sinful condition of mankind, which has trapped everyone in death. And he refers to the devil as not only a prince or ruler, but also one who controls the power of the air. And many Jews, Greeks, and Romans around this time would have understood this reference.
Okay, so actually I still do have to go. Change of plans again. But yeah. I still do have to go. So we're gonna try to get to at least the middle of this video, like half of it done.
This passage, before Paul explains the good news of the gospel, he talks about the sinful condition of mankind, which has trapped everyone in death. And he refers to the devil as not only a prince or ruler, but also one who controls the power of the air. And many Jews, Greeks, and Romans around this time would have understood this reference to a specific domain in the world. You see, evil spirits or demons were thought to roam free in the air and influence humans, communities, and institutions. And if you continue to read in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, Paul then tells Christians that their enemy isn't a physical one, but
a
instead
spiritual one. Yeah.
Powers, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. So note here how Paul didn't just say demons, rather he lists different categories. And while we can't know their hierarchy, the one thing we do know is that Satan is their leader. So going back to our little table, a more accurate one can look like this, with Satan on the top, these four categories of demons in the middle, and finally the sons of disobedience on the bottom. And
that's crazy, actually. That's crazy, actually. So we all know, like 100%, that Satan has no power against anyone because Jesus paid the price for all of us. So Satan already lost because Jesus is all powerful. Jesus defeated Satan on the cross, guys. And the fact that Satan's in control of all these other beings is laughable, right? Because how can someone who has fallen down to the lowest point to where you're not even powerful anymore be in control of other things? How can you still have control over those things if you don't even have power? You are nothing because Jesus already defeated you on the cross. Yet you still are able to twist people's minds to think that you are all powerful. It's pretty crazy. God. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I rebuke any schemes of the enemy in Jesus' name because I recently had a dream. And I feel as though it may be due to Halloween coming up. And obviously Halloween is not of God. I recently had a dream that I was with some friends, and those friends ended up opening a portal, and they were looking for someone named Lucy. Which, if you know, like Lucifer, right? Some people make fun of Lucifer by calling Lucifer Lucy. And sometimes there's like horror games where they might call the evil person Lucy, referring to Lucifer. So I had a dream that I was with friends or family members or something like that. And I'd say they were my friends, right? Because I don't have family members that would go out of their way to like say and to like I don't have family members that I hang out around that celebrate Halloween. So I just very strongly felt that it had to do something with Halloween, even though I'm never ever concerned about Halloween whenever it comes up. I'm just like, oh, it's Halloween again. Cool. Um or I'd be like, oh great, this thing again. But so in the dream, my friends were trying to find someone named Lucy, right? And um they were saying some type of spell in order to open a portal to find Lucy. And once they opened the portal and went through the portal and said that they're looking for Lucy to me, and I was like, what are you doing? And they said they're looking for Lucy. And then I turned around and was like, who's Lucy? And then out of nowhere, a demon appears in front of me, and it looks like a gremlin with a body. Like a human body, but like a gremlin looking head. Like, you know, Gizmo, the movie Gizmo. I think it's called that. Or it's called Gremlins. But you know, Gizmo, the little fluffy alien looking dude who, if he gets wet or eats after midnight or anything like that, he pops out these weird, like, slimy eggs and they hatch into the green, weird alien looking things. So the demon looked like that, but without the giant pointy ears, and its head looked like the head of a gremlin, but it was more box shaped. It was like its head was really wide, like a box, kind of like a Roblox character's head, and it had like the style of a gremlin face, except for the ears. Obviously, it had no ears. It was like, I don't know, it had no ears, but then it had a human body in like this suit. Dark it was like a dark gray. It wasn't black. It might have been a dark blue that looked almost black, but I know it was not fully black. And then like the inside shirt they had was black. The inside, the undershirt they had underneath the suit was black, and then the tie was the same color as the suit, I'm pretty sure. And then, like, so the demon was like in front of me, and it was like, I'm Lucy, or we're all Lucy, or something like that. Like, it was like the demon was trying to convince me that every single demon in existence was Satan. Because obviously, as they're showing in this video, Satan controls every single thing that he was able to convince, right? So, oh, that's pretty interesting. So, I don't really know what it means per se. So, you see how it shows like principalities, powers, rulers, hosts, sons of disobedience. So I don't really know what that means, but it would be pretty interesting if the sons of disobedience were the angels who followed Satan. But then it would be confusing what the other four are. Like the powers, principalities, rulers, and hosts, right? But it's like hosts could be things like people or things that the demons go into, and then rulers, obviously, like the pharaohs and stuff like that. Principalities. I feel like principalities mean like principalities to me. It seems as though that would mean like people's beliefs, right? Like, I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. I don't really know what any of this means, but yeah, I'm just gonna play the video again because we do need to hurry up and watch the rest of this to see what happens and see if we can get through all of this before I have to go, but I don't think we will.
Fall into Satan's kingdom is because they are under Satan's command, and you can see this in 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 26. So going back to who Satan is, understand that he is in charge of a network of demonic entities, and they are currently at work in the world all around us. And simply put, they use their schemes to keep unbelievers, and they attempt to weaken followers of Christ.
See, oh my goodness, look at that. Like, it's just so what is it called? It's just so encouraging watching a video like this, because it's like it pretty much it lets you know that you're not alone, that you're not the sole person on earth. Like, you're not the only person on earth being constantly attacked. And like, if you do look at other people's lives, they're either faking it till they make it, or they're being so real and so open with everyone and being like, I'm struggling, this is happening, I'm going through this, I'm dealing with this. And it's just like, we're able to relate so much to all of that. But it's like, a lot of people nowadays are just saying like, oh, I'm struggling with this and I'm doing these physical things in order to help myself feel better. Like, I'm eating these things, or I'm exercising, or I'm clearing my mind with white noise or rain, or meditating, or all that stuff. But there are no Christians that I know of out there that are going out of their way to be like, I'm dealing with this and that and these things and these emotions and these struggles, and then I'm going into the Bible to find out what this is. I'm praying to find out what this is. I'm worshiping God through the storms, right? No, from what I've seen, there are no Christians genuinely doing that. Like, actually, I've seen one video of one woman on Instagram that did that, because she was explaining how while she was in her car driving home, a train stopped directly on the tracks leading to her home, and it just stopped there. It was there for so long, and instead of getting upset, she decided that she was going to turn on some worship music and worship while she waited for the train to pass, even though she was so close to being home, and like literally to the point where if people were really that impatient, they would have just gotten out of their cars and walked home. That's how close the train tracks were to where her house was, and they were on the one road to her home. And God pretty much revealed to her in that moment that, like, you see the person behind you, how annoyed, upset, and impatient they're being because the train is blocking their path to get home. And God was pretty much like revealing to her, this is how you need to be with God. God was pretty much saying that she needs to have this type of patience in order to worship God through her storms, through her struggles, and not focus on the hurt, the pain, the trials that she is going through, and just focus on God. That is what God revealed to her in that moment. And it's just incredible. Like, it was so incredible hearing that from her. Like, I don't care if it was true, if it was not. I don't care if the video, if the photo was like photoshopped or anything like that. The fact, like, I trust it. I trust that what she said is true. I trust that that train really did stop in the tracks in front of her, and that she spent the whole time worshiping and all that stuff and didn't get mad and or upset or whatever like that. Like, she did say it was a little annoying, but then she decided to turn on worship music and just worship God while she had nothing else to do. And it's just like, I believe her. I believe her 100%. I believe her 100%. And even if, the slightest if, that video wasn't true, it still got to me. It still got to me. It still affected me. It still made me feel some type of way. Because I've been trying to be like that. I've been trying to worship God through my struggles, through my pains, through the hardship, through my trials. And it just feels impossible. Not impossible to worship God. Like, it just feels like so much work. Like, it feels like it's too much to handle, too much to deal with. And I tend to give up. Even though I don't want to. I know I shouldn't give up. I don't want to give up, but then I just feel like I'm falling so short. I'm feeling like I'm falling short. I'm feeling like I am not succeeding at what God would want for me. I feel like I am not worthy of God. But that's the point. And a lot of my friends have been trying to make me realize that, but I know that. So it's like, it bothers me that I know that. But then, due to me trying to explain the issues I'm going through, my friends have to re-explain that to me. So it does upset me that I have to be explained that. Like, it seems like I've given up all hope to the point where my friends need to explain that to me. And it just makes me feel horrible. Because, like, I know that. I know what I need to do. I know that I cannot give up on God, that that God is still with me and all that stuff. But then it's like, I feel so lost and so broken and so destroyed that I go to my friends and try to talk to them about it, and then they're like, well, you gotta trust the Lord. You gotta trust God. You gotta seek God through your struggles. You, like, they're understanding too. It's not like they're just being like, oh, go find God. They're understanding, and like, they understand the pains that I'm going through because they've gone through it themselves as well. Because we're all human. We all have emotions. We all go through the same hurt. Just some of us can push it aside and shove it way deep down inside where it doesn't hurt us unless it gets revealed, right? But there's others who can't do that. And then it's just all spills out, right? And it just hurts everyone around you. So yeah. Yeah.
Fact number 3. Satan is the great deceiver. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the great
See,
dragon was
the
thrown
great
down, that
deceiver.
ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. This passage describes a dramatic and symbolic vision of the conflict between the kingdom of God and Satan at the end of the world. And it's very important because it's the only passage in the whole
At the
Bible
end of the
that
world.
specifically identifies the serpent in the Garden of Eden who deceived Eve as Satan himself. If you remember in Genesis chapter 3, the serpent deceives Eve by making her question God's word and his character. And the serpent told Eve that she could become like God if she ate the fruit
She'd
that he
become
was
all
commanded not to.
knowing like
And by
God.
doing this, sin entered the world, and Adam and Eve paid the consequences of their sin and were then separated from God. And I
Yeah.
want you to note this separation, because this kind of separation is what Satan planned from the very beginning, and this plan is currently at work today.
Yeah.
See, according to this passage in Revelation, we see that Satan was the serpent who lied back in Genesis. Look at John chapter 8, verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
You are of your father the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When
Yeah.
he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try writing this real quick. You know, I'm thinking about something right now, and that's actually surprising to me because I tend to overshare with people, and people usually say, "Oh, okay," or "Oh," or "That's crazy," or like they don't know how to respond. But I kind of might have overshared with someone yesterday, and instead of them responding how I would expect people to normally respond, or how people have responded, they responded by saying that they were, well, I would have to check because I don't exactly know what they said, and I like to say things word for word because I don't want to mix anything up. Um, but they said something along the lines of, they were glad that I was, open with them about like, or like something like that. They were just something about me being open with them by oversharing with them about like stuff that I've been going through. Um, and it's just like I have never had anyone respond in that way when I overshared something with them. Like obviously like I kind of sort of made um made the conversation so that they would ask me about something that I wanted to tell them. But it's like I didn't know that what the screenshot of something I wanted to show them was going to then lead to that conversation. But it did, and I was happy about that I was gonna finally be able to tell them about the situation without feeling like it was me that decided to share it fully, because I've been wanting to tell them about that situation even though it doesn't involve them, and it's just like it's something that I was trying to get over and stuff like that. But I wanted to share the situation with them just to share it with them. And yeah, no, they they literally said, I appreciate you being so open with me. And then they asked me, how am I feeling now, day to day? Like, people don't do that. People aren't like that. No one has ever been like that. Like, no one, like my friends have asked me how I was doing and like if I'm okay, and like I had explained to one of my friends a few days ago that like I just wanted someone, like I was trying to explain to them, like I was explaining to them like the situation, how I was feeling and stuff like that, and I was saying how like I just wanted someone to pray for me, or a specific person to pray for me. And then the next day they told me that they do pray for me and that God loves me very much and that I am God's daughter. And like that's also like so like incredible that they would say that. And like this is a completely different person from the person that said that um they appreciate me being so open with them. This is another person. This person has been like sharing Bible verses with me and telling me like God says this and that, and he said that God doesn't condemn us for our issues, for all have sinned and fallen short of glory. He knows we're imperfect, and that's why he stands ready to help us grow. And that Jesus says to cast our burdens onto him, for his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And like these two people are like incredible. I do have other friends that are also incredible, but like these two people are outstanding the rest of my friends with how incredible they've been, because I do know that the rest of my friends are always super busy and don't really have time to just randomly send me a message, right? Because they all work like jobs that are really demanding and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, to me it's truly incredible. It's truly incredible.
In this passage, Jesus was rebuking the Pharisees and accuses them of belonging to their father, the devil. And Jesus then gives us some very heavy truths about who the devil is. And Jesus said that he's a murderer, he has no truth in him, and he is the source and father of lies. So deceiver is one title, so let's go to the next one. Fact number 4, Satan is the accuser. Zechariah
Yep,
chapter 3,
the
verses 1 to
accuser.
3. Then he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to accuse him. And the Lord said to Satan,
Mm-hmm.
The Lord rebuke you, O Satan. The Lord who has chosen Jerusalem rebuke you. Is not this brand plucked from the fire? Now Joshua was standing before the angel, clothed with filthy garments.
Yeah. So this is pretty interesting because in the book of Job, I read the book of Job. It is so crazy, but very informational. So in the book of Job, it says that Satan was able to go to heaven and tell God that, oh, Job only follows you because you've given him all these amazing things and a family and health and all this stuff. And so God allowed Satan to test Job, right? And that's why Job went through all those horrible things, because Satan thought that Job would stop believing God or turn away from God if everything he cared for and everything he had just disappeared or went away or like was taken from him in very horrible ways, right? Because Satan literally took away his family, and it's not like he just like made his family leave him. He squashed his family under a building. His family was in a building. It fell on them and they were all gone, except for his wife. All of his children were squashed under a building because Satan thought that if he took away his children, that he would turn away from God. And yeah. So let me get to the point already. So the point is, in the book of Job, Satan, it seems as though Satan is able to go to heaven, or at least something like that, because Satan was able to go to God and the angels and say like, Job only follows you because you give him this and that and this and that, and he has so much, and he only follows you for the things he has. And right here, it literally says that Satan, where does it say it? And Satan standing at his right hand to accuse him. And the Lord said to Satan, The Lord rebuke you, O Satan. Like, it says that Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to accuse him. So are they in heaven or are they on earth? And the angel of the Lord, which is like God's spirit, is down on earth? Because I don't know. But in the book of Job, it says that Satan went to God. So in Job, Satan was somehow able to communicate with God and tell God to test or to allow Satan to have control over certain parts of Job's life. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Because obviously Satan isn't in hell yet. Satan is on earth. And since he was casted out of heaven, it wouldn't make sense for him to be able to go from earth to heaven. But it also wouldn't really make sense for... It wouldn't... I don't know. It's complicated, right? How are we supposed to know? But yeah.
Now, before we
Let's
explain
keep watching a little bit.
let me preface it. Many Christians don't know this, but the name Satan actually originates from a Hebrew title that literally just means the accuser. So in Hebrew, Satan isn't technically a proper name. So if someone took on the role of accusing or opposing someone, in the Hebrew, as weird as it may sound, they would take on the role of being a Satan.
Oh,
Some
wow.
scholars think that this takes away from the devil's personal identity as a fallen angel or spiritual being, but I would say it just tells us more about what he does, similar to other titles.
Yeah.
So going back to the passage, Joshua the high priest stood before the angel of the Lord in filthy garments, which represented Israel's sin. We also see that Satan was nearby,
Okay.
accusing him before God. And if you were to continue,
So he hadn't died. It was just... Okay, so this makes sense, but still, the book of Job is kind of confusing for what it says.
That Joshua would be adorned with pure garments. And I would say that this symbolized God's mercy and forgiveness towards Israel. So I want you to notice that Satan lives up to his name and opposed and accused God's people, and he will continually do so until he is silenced. And we should be aware of this because Satan doesn't just do this to a few people, but to everyone. And still to this day. Look at Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, "Now the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brothers has been thrown down, who accuses them day and night before our God."
Yep. And that's where I'm going to have to leave it off because I got to go, guys. So, yeah. If you got something from this, that's awesome. If not, then I guess at least you made it to the end of the video, right? Or you could probably try doing some research on your own. I don't know. But yeah. Goodbye. God bless you guys. I will see you guys next time or later today or something like that. I gotta go now. So, bye.